So in this video, we're going to solve linear equations. Now, linear equations, if you remember from Algebra 1, you have like y equals mx plus b, okay? M is your slope here, so that's your slope, and b is your y-intercept. Those are numbers, okay? Now, if we're solving for when y equals 0. So this is when the line will cross the x-axis at y equals 0. So like this first one here, we have it equal to 0. So we're good to start solving. And we do that basically by isolating x. So first we want to get rid of the subtraction and then get rid of the multiplication. Okay, so I'm going to add 20 to both sides here. And I'll get 4x, because the minus 20 and the plus 20, they cancel out, equals 20. Okay, so I've undone the subtraction. So now I have to do the inverse operation of multiplication because 4 is multiplied by x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by 4, and then I get x equals 5. Okay? So if I go up here and I go to Desmos, and let me increase this a little bit. Okay, so if we say y equals this left-hand side, 4x minus 20, you'll see it crosses at x equals 5. So the solution is 5, right? So that's a graphical way to think about it, but you can also solve it algebraically, which we're going to do for the rest of these. Okay, so let's look at problem number 2. So what you should do at this moment, if you're practicing along, is pause the video and smash the like button and then go ahead and solve. Okay, so we've got 5x plus 15 equals 5. So first off, I want to get one side equal to 0. Well, actually, I really don't need to do that, but let's do that. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. And I'll show you another way I could do this. So we get 5x plus 10 equals 0. So we're starting with one side equal to 0. And then we can subtract 10. And we get 5x equals negative 10. And then we can divide by 5 to undo the multiplication. And so we get x equals negative 2. Okay, so that's one way to solve it, but you could start off with 5x plus 15 equals 5 and just move the 15 over. So we could just subtract 15 and we get 5x equals negative 10, and then we divide by 5 and we get x equals negative 2. Now, a lot of students will want, the exact way you do it step by step. But as you get better with these, you'll be able to kind of, figure things out a bit quickly and not have to follow as much of a formulaic way of doing it. You don't want to memorize how to do it. You just want to realize you got to isolate x and you got to do the inverse of the operations that are being done on x. So, in this case, 5 is being multiplied by x, and then 15 is being added to it. So we undo the addition first, and then we undo the multiplication. Okay, let's look at third problem. So we've got 4 times the quantity 5x minus 2 equals 2. So first thing, I want to distribute the 4 here. So this is a little bit harder. So I'm going to get 20x minus 8 equals 2. Then I want to get rid of this subtraction of 8, so I have to do the inverse of that. I have to add 8 to both sides. What you do on one side of the equation, you have to do the other. And the minus 8 and the plus 8 will cancel out. You'll have 20x equals 2 plus 8, which is 10. Then we have to divide both sides by 20. And we get x equals 10 over 20, which simplifies to 1 over 2. So 1/2. Okay. So let's keep going. All right, we've got 4 times the quantity x plus 6 equals 4 times the quantity x minus 6. So we can distribute to start. So we do 4 times x, which is 4x, and then 4 times 6, which is plus 24. And then here we've got 4 times x, which is 4x, and 4 times negative 6, which is minus 24. So if we subtract 4x from both sides, well, when I have the same thing on both sides, I can just get rid of it. And then we come up with an interesting case here. We come up with these will cancel out, these will cancel out. We'll get positive 24 equals negative 24. So in this particular case, sometimes this is like a trick one. There is no solution. Let's just take a look at what Desmos does when I plug this in. So I'm going to do 4 times x plus 6 equals 4 times x minus 6. And you'll see that it doesn't graph anything because it doesn't really know what to do. Now, another kind of example of this would be, let's say I move the 24 over, so I got 0 equals negative 48. And I said, well, y equals negative 48. What would that be? So we see nothing here. But if I say y equals negative 48, you see it's just a horizontal line going through the y-axis at negative 48. It never crosses the x-axis. So in this case, there's never a solution because y can never be 0. Okay, so it's kind of the same, but not really. But just note that sometimes you'll come along and have something like this where something will have no solution. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. If it was, please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also, I'll leave links to my Teacher Pay Teachers and my website in the description, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.